23 minutes past the hour. We're back live in the newsroom. You know, General Motors is back on the road, emerging from bankruptcy in just 40 days. The CEO calling it a second chance and promising a leaner, greener automaker. But the new GM is already getting blasted. Because after taking tens of billions of American tax dollars, GM is now dropping its contract with its only U.S.-based metal supplier. That's Stillwater Mining. But there's more here. It's keeping its contracts with suppliers in South Africa and in Russia. With us on the phone now is the CEO and president of Stillwater Mining, Frank McAllister. And Frank, let me just, for the edification of our audience, your company mines palladium, which is used in catalytic converters. One of your biggest contracts is General Motors. You've been negotiating now for months, and now at the 11th hour, General Motors kicks you to the curb and continues contracts with the Russians and the South Africans.
Trace, that's correct. Essentially, what's happened here is that we've been a business partner with General Motors since 1998, and you're quite correct. We have a multi-year supply contract which exists right now, and obviously under the bankruptcy rules, they have every right to void our contract, but to keep the contracts going with the South Africans and the Russians is just simply doesn't make a lot of sense.
There's got to be a rub here, though, Frank. Are you charging too much money? I mean, in fairness, GM's looking out for their bottom line. But are you charging too much money? Was your contract more expensive than the Russians and the South Africans?
Don't know exactly what their contracts read. Our contract does have floor prices in it, which if the price falls low, it is above market. But during all of our discussions, and even after we were notified that they would reject the contract, we were told that these were not the issue. They simply said, because we're downsizing, we simply don't need your palladium.
So this could cost you between $5 and $30 million, Frank. You got a lot of workers there. The jobs depend on this. And your take is that American tax dollars are being used against you.
That's exactly what we're worried about, Trace.
Yeah, and if that happens, when you talk about jobs, Frank, how many jobs? I mean, this whole thing, we had the congressional investigation. It was all about jobs. And now, how many jobs are we talking about if this company goes south?
We have 1,400 people working here. We've already downsized ourselves about 20%. Our guys are doing really good. And in fact, we will do well in the second quarter, but the issue is what is this action going to do to us going forward? And
I got to go here, Frank, but Montana Governor Brian Schweitzer is irate over this. Anything he can do, any help you think you'll get down the road, or is it a done deal? I got 10 seconds.
He stepped in to help us all he can, and I don't know what it'll take place, but we'll see. We just want to talk with General Motors some more.
Yeah, Frank McAllister. Frank, good of you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Trace.